What's going on, guys? Welcome back to GridironTalkZone. Week 2 picks time. Very good week 1. Our pick records weren't so good, but pretty good slate of games. Week 2, I think, has even better slate of games than week 1. So I'm very excited to make our picks. We're going to start off with Thursday night Foot B. Eagles, Vikings. Me and Jude have the Eagles winning. Jackson, to my whatever side it is on the screen, has the Vikings. I'll get to why the Eagles are winning. I think the Vikings will cover the spread. I believe it's like a 5.5 point spread or something like that. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think Jefferson's going to have a big day on Slay, unlike last year when Slay kind of had a pretty good day on him. But last year, these two teams played. It was 24-7. Vikings won. Cousins moved the ball really well, just was turning it over in the red zone. Though, I think Cousins is going to have a pretty good day. I just think the Eagles are the more complete team. They're at home, and I like them in the spot to beat the Vikings. Jackson?
Well, I think this game comes down to Jalen Hurts and DeAndre Swift now that Kenneth Gainwell's out. I don't believe in DeAndre Swift to have a great first week with this offense. Not obviously his first week, but his first week with the volume he'll probably put up, as the coach said, that he is going to have games where he carries that role at running back. And I don't believe in Jalen Hurts in this week. I don't think the Vikings are as easily exploitable as we're treating them. I think Madison proved himself as a volume back. And I think the Vikings take this over production.
All right, Jude, why are you with me on the Eagles?
I'll say this about the Vikings. I think their defense is going to be better than people give them credit for. Okay, I think Flores raises their ceiling significantly. I just don't know if they have the firepower necessarily because I watched a little bit of them this past weekend. It was pretty much just Jefferson or nothing. And the Eagles they have the personnel to take that away. And I don't know if the Vikings defense can hold up for 60 minutes. And they couldn't do it against Tampa, so I don't think they'll be able to do it against Philly's offense, which is way more versatile.
All right, moving on to Sunday's games, starting with the Falcons-Packers. Obviously, both teams coming off week 1 wins, pretty big wins versus division opponents. Falcons had a big fourth quarter. Packers had a big third quarter versus the Bears. I'm going Falcons here. It's at home. I think the Falcons defense is going to do a better job than the Bears defense did. And if you saw, Jordan Love had so many completions on 3rd and long over the middle of the field because Eddie Jackson didn't play a good game. Jesse Bates is coming off a game where he picked off Bryce Young, another young quarterback, 2 times where Young was trying to throw over the middle of the field. So if I'm predicting, I'm thinking Bates is going to have another big game, maybe even get another pick versus the Packers. And I think Arthur Smith is a much better coach than Matt Eberflus was for the Bears last week. So, yeah, I think the Packers will compete, and it'll be a very competitive game, but I think the Falcons are going to win it.
Jackson?
All right. Once again, I think it comes down to the quarterback. I don't think they trust Desmond Ridder, and Bijan and Algier aren't going to be enough to get him through this game. I think that the Packers defense is going to have an easier time getting a hold of Desmond Ridder than they would of Justin Fields. And I think it's not even – I just don't think Desmond Ridder has it.
But you think Jordan Love has it?
100%. Jordan Love proved that he had it.
I mean, I guess he had the it factor on 3rd down, but overall he was inconsistent with his accuracy throughout the game.
I disagree. I think Jordan Love threw the ball very well.
Anyway, Jude, so you're with me on this one, the Falcons. So Jackson's the one picking.
I'm switching my pick. Just give me the Packers, baby.
Okay,
I'm
Jude
switching.
Was to pull off some stuff like this.
I actually didn't. I saw the 2 teams. I listened. I thought to myself before y'all even talked. I said I'm listening to y'all's arguments, and I honestly agree with Jackson more because Ridder has proven nothing. Last week, Arthur Smith couldn't even trust him to throw against the Panthers, and I think the Packers have a better defense than the Panthers. And I don't know. I saw a lot more than Jordan Love in week 1 than I have ever seen with Desmond Ridder. So I like the Packers, but I like close, kind of a low-scoring game. I like the Packers.
All right. Interesting pick. Yeah, it's a go either way game. But on to Bills, Raiders, 2 different takes here. This is my stinker of the week. We're throwing in a stinker of the week. Have some fun here. Basically, the game I think is going to be the biggest blowout. Give me the Bills coming off a loss to just go take it out on the Raiders. This game's in Buffalo too, so Raiders winning in Buffalo, Jackson. Very hot take there. I think the Bills are going to take this one like 30-7 or something. Really, outside of Marcus Peters, the Raiders have no threats to take the ball away. Josh Allen's not going to turn it over all those times again. So give me the Raiders with a big blowout win. Or the Bills with a big blowout win versus the Raiders.
Yeah, I think the Raiders looked very nice week 1 with Devontae Adams having little to no production.
They played a bad team.
You can let me finish?
Are the Jets a good team without Rodgers?
Great question.
Yeah, the Jets are a good team without Rodgers. Still.
I don't know about that. We can keep going.
So they won with Broncos have a pretty good defense, so I'm just talking about their offense right now. They did pretty well to stop them, and we don't actually know how effective Broncos' offense was, so maybe that Raiders defense actually played better than it looked.
Raiders defense impressed me, I'll say that.
They pretty much took Devontae Adams out of the game, so they leaned on Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Myers with Josh Jacobs having a small game, as I predicted he will have a littler season. And I think they looked very good. And now knowing that they can now lean onto Jacoby Myers and Garoppolo, and now having Devontae Adams coming back, who I think will have a big game, I think they have all the tools they need to win this game easily.
I don't think Jimmy G has it in him, man. Last week was a good, impressed me. Wasn't the most shocking win, but it was impressive. I didn't expect Jimmy G to, first week come out and look like that. But he also has familiarity with McDaniels. So it's not surprising, like I said. But in this game, like Nick said, I don't think Allen's going to have 3 turnovers again. It's possible because if you look at his turnovers since 2018, he's at the top of the list, which is a pretty glaring stat. But I don't think the Raiders' defense is near the Jets' defense. So I don't necessarily think it's going to be a stinker, but I think the Bills win comfortably by 2 scores.
All right, on to the Bengals, Ravens, our first GTZ guarantee. But this is an interesting one because the Bengals coming off getting the butt whooped. The Ravens it wasn't an amazing win considering who they played, and the Texans battled with the Ravens for at least the first half. But anyway, I think the Bengals, they just match up really well with the Ravens. I think Chase and Burrow's offensive game is really going to get going, and they're going to have too much firepower throwing the ball at the home opener versus the Ravens. And I think Lamar Jackson and company, they weren't bad week 1, but they definitely weren't amazing. So I think the Bengals are just going to put up more points, but it's kind of how you win the football game. But yeah, I think the Ravens still going to take a few weeks to get going with Lamar and the new offense, and the Bengals are going to take advantage of that, although they were bad week 1, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think the Ravens have harder mistakes to correct than the Bengals do. I think the Bengals just need to play a better game. Simple as that. They just had a terrible week 1.
And they were in a very bad condition. Well, not very bad, but it was raining.
Yeah, I think the Bengals just fluked out of their week 1, and J.K. Dobbins is now hurt. And I think the Ravens did win their game, but by no means was their magnum opus of a game. So I think they have harder mistakes to correct than the Bengals do, and I think the Bengals will correct them straight out of week 1 like they did last season.
Yeah, I like the Bengals. I think I agree with Nick. The Ravens, it's going to take them some time, to get the offense going. And the Bengals, I'm pretty sure that I feel like they've kind of owned the Ravens the past couple years since Burrow and Chase and Higgins have got there. I feel like Burrow's kind of torched the secondary too many times, and I don't know if the Ravens are going to be able to keep up. I think last week was a blip, like y'all said.
Yeah, and Higgins did virtually nothing, so if they can get Higgins in the game.
They'll get him going this week.
Yeah, and I think it's an easy win with Dobbins out as well.
On to a game which should be a shootout. Seahawks, Lions, me and Jackson on the Seahawks here. Listen, the Seahawks had a very bad week 1, but I think a lot of it has to do with just the divisional matchup. Sean McVay has a very good resume versus Pete Carroll, but it was disappointing definitely from the Seahawks perspective. They were winning at halftime. They just had a terrible second half. I think they're going to get things going here, at least offensively, versus Lions, kind of a new secondary, still trying to get into the swing of things. And the Lions offense, they did only score 14, the offense last week because they had a defensive touchdown. So the Lions by no means have proven a ton on offense either as far as just one game. But obviously both offenses I expect to be good this year. going to be a shootout, but I think Gino and company is going to get it done.
Yeah, I think
this is my upset of the week, by the way, as you see with the 5.5 point spread.
Yeah, I think as Jude said last episode, Geno Smith is under a lot of pressure, and I think he has way too many tools to not surmount that pressure. Hopefully, Charbonnet comes into the game more as a receiving running back. Kenneth Walker had a great game, not great, but hope Kenneth Walker keeps up his production. I think they're going to be just fine. And I think the Lions didn't even deserve to win their last game, but of course they did play the Chiefs. So they don't have to play nearly as good as they did. But I think Geno Smith has what it takes to, and I think the defense will hold it down. I think it just comes down to Seahawks can outperform the Lions when they need to.
Yeah, I like the Lions in this game, and it's kind of a theme with a lot of these games. I like Goff over Geno. Geno last season was great, but if you listen to the last pod, I read numbers from his last 7 weeks, and it's pretty glaring, the drop-off from the first 12 weeks of last season, because usually, especially Geno, who hasn't had a lot of tape out there, I feel like no one really knew how to defend him. And now teams are kind of starting to figure out, what he likes to do, coverages he likes, coverages he doesn't like. So I think the Lions, I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Seahawks won, but I think coming off the momentum, I just need to see it from Geno. I said it in the offseason. I need to see more. I think the Lions, they have – this is the Lions' biggest – last week was the Lions' biggest win probably since we've been alive. So I think the crowd's going to be rocking, and I think the Lions pull it out.
One more thing. Yeah, Geno, my concern was going into the year, my only concern with him really was he put the ball in harm's way last year a lot and was a little lucky at times with the turnovers, not getting as many turnovers as he probably should have had. So that's a concern, but again, I think he's going to have a bounce back week, but we'll see. It could go either way.
I want to say I do agree with the trend of it's going to come down to a lot of quarterbacks this season.
Yeah, and also I like Goff at home. He's much better at home than he is away. I'll say that.
On to the Titans-Chargers. Chargers-Titans should be an interesting game. The only thing I really could see going the Titans' way is Derrick Henry getting going versus the Chargers' run defense, but I think the Chargers just have a top 5 offense in football this year. I think Kellen Moore and Herbert's going to be a very good combination. Of course, adding Quentin Johnston helps. So, yeah, and the O-line, as long as healthy, it should be very good, and they have the elite quarterback in Jude Halbert. So I think it's going to be a very tough game for the Titans' defense, although Vrabel usually has this defense playing well. But anyway, I think the Chargers are going to really have a good game offensively, and that's going to be enough to get the win.
Yeah, I think it comes down to whether Herbert gets more into the passing game than he did last season, because I think they win that game if Herbert performs more. And I think this season he will, so that's why it's my stinker. Or this week he will, and I think they absolutely take it to town on the Titans. Now, I don't know if I'd say they have the top 5 offense in the league, but they have a very good offense, and they can pass and run the ball. But I don't know about top 5.
Yeah, I like the Titans because I think the Chargers have a bottom 5 defense in the league, just basing it off last week. I mean, how can you tell me otherwise? They couldn't stop anything.
Mainly it was a lot of bad coaching by Brandon
Staley. Yeah, and I'll take Vrabel all day, any day over Staley. And I think, what do y'all – okay, I know Nick's high – and Jackson's not as high on the Saints, but Nick, you're high on the Saints. You're higher on the Saints than us.
I had them winning 9 games. That's the consensus.
And how many do you have the Chargers winning?
11.
Okay, so Tannehill threw 3 picks and lost by 1. I don't think there's any way Tannehill can play worse than he did last week.
But the Saints offense I ranked at 19th. The Chargers I have at 4, so it's a big difference there.
You said that – my bad. Repeat what you just said.
I have the Saints offense ranked at, I think, 19th, and I have the Chargers ranked at 4.
Okay, well, that's fine. I think the Titans might be around a top 5 defense in football.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, I have
They're stacked.
That could be true.
They're stacked. Their front seven's loaded.
That could definitely be true.
Okay.
Maybe not an overall defense.
And I think Derrick Henry.
I think the defensive line's loaded, but I think the rest of the defense outside of Bayard is very sus.
I think Henry just runs it down their throat, honestly. I think this is a vintage – okay, whatever, you can laugh. I think this is a vintage Henry game. I think that Vrabel's going to get his guys pumped for this game because they need it.
Well, I mean, I hope he gets his team pumped, but it's going to be a tough one. Titans.
Who are you taking, Vrabel or Staley?
Oh, Vrabel was a way better coach than Staley.
Okay, just want to ask.
I have the Titans defense at 20th, so we disagree there. But anyway,
it looked pretty good last week.
Yeah, it looked pretty good last week, and I think it's going to be a good defense. So anyway, on to the next one. Buccaneers, the Bears. Should be a good one here in Tampa Bay. Noon Central Time. Anyway, why do I have
promoting?
why do I have the Bears winning? Unbiasedly, I think that the Bears can win this game because of you look at last week. Matt LaFleur just completely outcoached Eberflus. Now, Dave Canales and Todd Bowles and company over there, they're not Matt LaFleur. I think Canales is pretty good OC, but Bowles, as far as coach, hasn't proven much at all. So I think from a standpoint, you look at that, I don't think the Bears are just going to get completely outcoached like last week. And then you look at the fact DJ Moore, he was going up against Jair Alexander. Now, Jamel Dean, Carlton Davis, solid corners, but they're not Jair Alexander. I think Moore is going to get way more involved in the offense this week. It's funny, you mentioned Claypool not trying last week, and then I saw today Matt Eberflus said he might be inactive due to lack of effort. I'll look into it. But anyway, that's tough for Claypool, man. But anyway, and to think we traded the 32nd overall pick for him, that's tough.
Hey, can you blame? I mean, he got his dream, he got the bag, and maybe he's good with that.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how. But I'd like to think he'd bounce back because he has talent. If he really is,
there's a reason why he was traded in the first place.
I wouldn't try if I played for the Bears.
How could you, man? You're getting passes thrown from running back. All right, we can move on.
No, I'm not finished. Anyway, there's a narrative that Fields played bad Sunday, which is just not true at all. Fields actually was very accurate with the football.
It's not a narrative; it's an observation.
He didn't do the best he could, but obviously he did a pretty solid job considering the duress he was over on. But he had on him with how bad the O-line played. It was one of the worst. Them and the Steelers, I believe, were the worst graded O-lines for PFF last week. As far as pass protection goes, they could not block Green Bay. Now Tampa has a good pass rush, but I don't think
they have a better pass rush than Green Bay.
Rashawn Gary is a very good player. Kenny Clark. They do have Vita Vea,
Shaq Barrett.
They had Preston Smith.
Antoine Winfield's the best blitzing safety in the league, or one of the best.
I don't think the Bears have literally
anyway
chance at winning this game.
I have the Packers at 10, Bucks at 13. So there you go.
DJ Moore is a poor route runner.
DJ Moore is not
inside of the 20-yard line. Claypool's awful.
DJ Moore is a good route runner.
Khalil Herbert's going to get shut down right down the middle. They're going to have to go to Rashad Johnson. And Justin Fields.
Nick,
Justin Fields isn't a good
Nick, player. I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen. Todd Bowles, I think he's one of the best defensive coaches in the league. I'll say top 10. I think that he's going to make Justin Fields throw. So we're going to find out about Justin Fields. And
DJ Moore's going to be more effective at the long ball, but I don't think Fields can put it to him.
Throw, but you need protection. And I will say the one big knock I've had on Fields is he holds on to the ball way too long. If the O-line can't protect, that one flaw is going to show against a really good pass rush, and that's why he could have some turnovers and they lose the game.
You saw the Bucs defense against the Vikings. They shut the Vikings down in the second half. In the second half, yes, they did.
Second half. Anyway.
It's adjustments.
I think that the Bears – I think Moore is going to be able to do enough with Fields to get him the ball. And I think that combination is going to win them this game. Because
who's a better combination, Kirk and Jay Jettis or Fields and DJ?
Yes, but they also had 2 big-time fumbles and a pick.
Oh, okay. Kirk Cousins threw a pick.
On his own to get
hey, Jackson, I have a question for you.
What?
Two over under.
He was good in Carolina.
He was top 10 in receiving yards 3 straight years.
Not do good in Carolina.
Over under, Jackson. 2 turnovers for the Bears Sunday.
Over. No question over.
If the Vikings have 3.
Either they get the 2 turnovers or they just sit there and they just get railed all day. There's no way around
Okay,
it.
well, if
the
we
Buccaneers win this game because the Bears are a bad team, not because they're not living up to the
Nick, there's no the only argument that I could see the Bears winning is the Bears have to win this game. If they don't win this game, everyone might be gone. I'm being serious. Eberflus might be gone. Poles might be gone. Fields might be gone.
Eberflus wouldn't be fired this early, and Poles would.
He wouldn't, but
nobody wants to be
0-2 for the Bears. They're not coming back from that, man.
Anyway, and they play Kansas City, so a sense of you're talking about.
If they lose, they're 0-3
to win this game. Yes, that's a big part of it for me too. But also, I look at it. I still think Fields is multiple steps above Baker Mayfield as a quarterback. I know you disagree, but I think Fields, he's shown more high flashes the last 2 years than Baker.
Yeah, obviously the last. Okay, sure. Baker was hurt. Baker was hurt one of those years. And you think Fields would succeed in Carolina?
I'd rather spend my days in my kitchen cabinet than watching the Chicago Bears play. They are so bad.
Well, I'm telling you, Jackson, if I come over Sunday, that game's going to be on the big TV.
No, it won't be because I won't have it.
Yes, we will have it. I know how to get games, bro.
I know how to do sports, but anyway.
Wait, what? What sports?
Anyway, I don't want to advertise illegal streams. So but anyway, no, I'll be seeing some of this game on Red Zone if it even gets on Red Zone because the teams might not even get to the Red Zone. So anyway, I think the Bears are going to win a low-scoring game. Give me the Bears 2017. I just think Fields and more does more than the other team.
So what needs to happen for you to admit Justin Fields isn't a good quarterback and the Bears aren't a good football team?
Yeah, well, okay, this is a serious question, Nick.
I have a 4-week rule. I've done this past few years now. Give me at least 4 weeks, and then I'll start making deep evaluations. Because Fields, week 5, Commanders, he was very bad. People were saying it's over with Fields. Even I was starting to think that. And then he turns around and puts together a really good month of play. And then you have people on ESPN saying he should be the MVP of football. I wasn't that far, but he had
no one was saying that, bro. Who was saying that?
There's no way anyone said
it was Dan or Rex. Dan Orlovsky or Rex. One of them. Rex Ryan called him the most. He called him the most exciting future young quarterback in football. Dan called him the MVP on a bad team.
There's a reason Rex doesn't have a job anymore, Nick. There's a reason why he's on ESPN.
Even as a Bears fan, we spent too long on this game. We're still in the news slate.
I think. Oh, we didn't even get to talk. Me and Jackson didn't even get to say anything. But it's fine.
To say. Bears are winning this game.
Yeah, you go ahead, dude.
I think the Bucs defense is going to annihilate the Bears offense.
Bears are just a bad team.
It obviously depends on the Bucs offense. I mean, obviously, like I said, it's a new offense, new quarterback. Obviously, we'll see if they can, improve off of week 1. But I think the Bucs have the momentum. They're going to be at home. How many games has Fields won on the road, Nick?
I don't even know.
He's won 5. So how many of those were on the road?
I can't even remember.
He's 5-21. Do I have to say that again?
I will say one more thing to wrap it up with me before Jackson goes. Am I confident in this? No. Am I a little biased in this? Yes. I was not biased last week. I'm a little biased this week.
You literally said to start your prediction unbiasedly.
I did say unbiasedly, but now I think about it, I told Jude earlier, I'm a little biased with this. The only way I'm biased is I think the sense of urgency that the Bears.
The Bears defense is bad, bro.
The Bears defense is bad, but the Bucs offense is bad. The run game is non-existent. Baker had a solid week 1, but I don't see that continuing. Why? Because I'm not high on Baker, and I'm not going to overreact.
Why?
Why? Because I don't like the quarterback. I'm not.
You just don't like him as a person, or what?
No, not as a person. I'm fine with him as a person. I don't like his game on the field. Very shaky in the pocket. Very inaccurate from the pocket. Turnover worthy.
That's not true.
Are you sure you're not describing Justin Fields? Shaky in the pocket is Justin Fields' game.
Nick. I legit Fields. Listen. I put myself through the pain today It was excruciating. I watched 15 minutes of Justin Fields' film and thinking I would come away with something to give you some hope. I came away with nothing.
I've lost a few friends from watching Justin Fields' film. They all die every time.
Why did you get that? It was really bad. The Bears
die.
If they're gonna win, they got to show something that they haven't shown in like 3 years.
This is the Buccaneers.
Last year, Monday Night Football, 33-14 versus the Patriots.
The Patriots stunk last year.
In Foxborough?
They stunk.
Anyway.
They were playing Zappy.
And Jones, they both played.
Anyway, Jones isn't that good.
Jones is really good.
He was bad.
Oh my God.
Jones is
not overreacting to week one. Not overreacting to week one.
This is not the Bears' game to win. The Bears have no way to win this game themselves. It's the Buccaneers' game to lose. If Bears win this game, it's the Buccaneers' fault. The Bears don't have the talent to win a game like this. They just don't have it.
The Bears are a more overall talented football team than the Buccaneers.
You're wrong.
If you're looking at positional value.
You're just looking at the quarterbacks then.
Okay, I'm looking at the receivers, the quarterbacks.
Evans is better than your whole wide receivers core still.
No, Mike Evans is not better than DJ Moore.
Yes, he is.
I just don't understand. Mike Evans doesn't get separation over the middle of the field, and he doesn't run after.
Hey. Okay, we can. Okay.
Does DJ Moore get open with 2 receptions?
Who gets open versus Jair?
Just other people, not somebody who runs at like freaking 2 miles per hour.
You know that Jair was not shadowing him the whole game, Nick.
What?
Jair does not shadow him the whole game. You know that. You're not that stupid.
I know that. I know that Jair doesn't shadow him the whole
game.
Wait,
I have one more thing to say about the Bears. I know, Nick, you're the biggest Bears fan I've ever met. Have you been reading the stuff they've been saying this week? Like the players?
What have they been saying?
It's pretty bad.
They don't believe in their own team.
Jaquan Brisker says he texted Justin Fields about the team's lack of energy. If you have to text somebody about when you see the guy every day, that's pretty embarrassing. And he said, I had to get it out there. As leaders, we had to do better bringing the team up. Says he felt that the they had more energy during practice, but it wavered during the game. That's embarrassing.
You're going to lose all credibility if you keep talking about how much you like the Bears.
Okay, anyway, I will add one point. That is embarrassing, and I did not know that. And maybe the coaching really needs to be questioned. I already said it should have been out of the coaches should have been out after 3 wins last year. But anyway, I'm going to say one more thing. But at least Briscoe's letting him know to try to at least help the situation.
Why are you saying it's in the media? Why? No one needs to know that.
I don't know. But anyway, I would say one more thing before we wrap this up. I just think that the Bears are going to have to really be able to at least protect somewhat, which is a big question.
Honestly,
either that or Moore is going to have to get open very quickly along with Mooney, and the run game is going to have to get going. And
I think
the run game will not get going.
I think Fields will improvise versus this team and do enough with his legs combined with Mooney. Well, not Mooney. DJ Moore. I think Moore is going to have a pretty good game.
The Bucs have a good secondary, bro. You're sleeping on the Bucs secondary.
But Moore knows the Bucs secondary very well, which is something that
just means they also know
what?
It goes both ways.
Receiver over corner.
Why?
What?
Not when it's DJ Moore.
Not when Justin Fields is throwing you the ball.
Okay, we'll move on. Fields was not bad last week, but we'll move on. Anyway,
maybe this week.
On to another GTZ game. The Chiefs beating the Jags.
Oh, Nick, I'm surprised.
What?
I'm surprised.
I'm back and forth on this game. What it comes down to is does Travis Kelce play? If he doesn't play, I think the Jags have more than enough weapons to go and beat the Chiefs.
If Kelce plays, put Jackson Mahomes at center, they still win it. It does not matter.
Yes, it does matter.
It doesn't.
Put Taylor Swift at center. I'll play better, I promise.
Secondary. They'll win it.
Yeah, just replace the best center in football and Creed Humphrey, and you'll still win it.
Hey, where do you go to college?
Anyway,
Boomer.
Let me talk about this game. So I'm concerned about the Jags protecting Chris Jones. I know he was holding out, but I still expect him to be a monster. And Brandon Scherff was hurt during the game last week. He's questionable. If Brandon Scherff doesn't play, then I think we're going to have a big problem protecting Lawrence, Chris Jones up the middle. I could even see Karlaftis getting going because Cam Robinson's suspended. But anyway, yeah, I just think the Chiefs, I expect Kelsey to play, and I think that they're going to bounce back. But again, if Kelsey doesn't play, I'm switching my pick to the Jaguars because I just have that much confidence in the quarterback and the offense and the coach and a young, improving defense. So a battle of those two very good teams. This very well could be the AFC title game, and I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one.
Mahomes is too good. You go ahead, Jude.
But Lawrence is really good too.
Not even. He's not even. In the
No, not on the same level, bro. Hell no.
No, barely any quarterbacks to ever play the game are on the level of Mahomes.
Yeah, well, don't even bring up Trevor Lawrence when you're talking about Mahomes.
And I don't think Calvin Ridley repeats the game he just had. I don't believe in Calvin Ridley.
Anyway,
that's interesting. I like the Chiefs. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jags won, just because. Well, I like the Chiefs. I think they're gonna bounce back because they've got a lot to prove, especially Tony. They got a lot to prove this week.
Yeah, the Jags-Colts game just wasn't convincing enough.
No.
To make me think they could beat the Chiefs.
Not at all. I think if they played almost any other team, they would have probably lost.
This game is at noon. Why is this game at noon? Anyway, we need to get
How
on.
do we have that input?
We need to get on to the next
Let's
game.
talk about what time the games are and why we think that was a bad decision.
Texans, Colts. This is a really tough game. I think D'Amico Ryans. Well, I could see him having a pretty good game plan for Richardson. I just think at this point it's going to be tough to game plan for Richardson early in the year. And I like the Colts defense to do a little bit more early in the year than the Texans. So for that reason,
what?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Be better than the Colts defense.
Texans will be better than the Colts in the end of the year, but right now I like the Colts defense a little bit more than the Texans.
Why?
Because the Texans, they have a lot of new pieces, and they did a pretty good job.
Like
the Ravens also had a lot of new pieces week one. So if I'm really looking at it, Richardson's such a hard game plan week two even. So I think that the Colts are going to be able to get enough done offensively to outscore Stroud and company and why they win this game. But in the long run, I think the Texans will probably –
That's the only way they beat them
by then.
is if they outscore them. I don't think it has anything to do with the Colts defense.
I just believe in Anthony Richardson, and I think Pittman's going to keep it up, and Zach Moss is going to have hopefully a splash in the game.
I think y'all sleep on the Texans defense, man. They looked good last week.
Well, I've heard so many Texans fans tell me they're going to be good, and they haven't been good in a while. So,
well, I don't think they're going to be good.
It has nothing to do with this game, Jackson.
I'm just saying. I can't believe in the
Jackson. I didn't watch it. I watched like maybe one Texan game last year, and I'm a big Texan fan. It was so bad. I knew they were going to be bad. Everyone was telling me they were going to be good. I knew they were going to suck. This just feels a little bit different.
I think the Colts are going to look a lot better than people think they will. I think Anthony Richardson is the most athletic quarterback we have ever seen. And I think he's just needs to develop quicker than we want to wait for him.
I think Stroud has a.
I think it really does. Like the trend we've been talking about, I think it comes down to Richardson, and I think Richardson is levels ahead of Stroud.
I think,
but I will admit I don't know much about Stroud. I will admit that. But
me and Jude both think Richardson's better than Stroud too.
I think he's better, but not levels. Not right now.
I think is a level above Stroud. I won't say levels, but I think he's a level above Stroud.
I wouldn't say that. I think they both performed about the same week one.
All right. But whooping Stinko for Jude. Niners are going to beat the Rams. The only way I see this game being close potentially just because McVay, but Shanahan probably owns McVay to be honest. So I think the Rams at home, could keep it close for a half, but then I think the Niners talent takes over the game. You want to add any context before we move on to the next one?
I think the Rams have a good shot at winning this.
Interesting.
Why?
Bro, the Rams. You like the Rams?
I do like the Rams. I liked them before that game week one. I
know. That's what Nick said.
I really like the Rams.
So you don't want Cooper Kupp to come back?
No. So I want to address that. Kupp. I think it's good that Kupp was injured week one, but I don't think it means now that when he comes back, they're still going to be better off. I think it's good now that they know what they can do without Kupp. And when Kupp comes back, I think that's going to make them even better because I think Stafford has enough knowledge to be able to tell what to do with that. I'm taking veteran quarterback here.
Okay.
They don't have the talent, but I think they have the team, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so the Niners just kind of own the Rams, and now that they just have way more talent, I think this is a runaway.
Shut up. You're wrong.
On to the Cowboys-Jets. I think it's going to be a very good game. I think a one-score game. in Dallas, the Jets' defense, I'd be shocked if they didn't get at least a turnover or two off of Dak.
Cowboys roll.
Yeah.
Anyway,
this is closer to a stinker.
The Jets, I just think the defense is going to keep this a really good game. And the reason why I have to pick the Cowboys, though, is because you look at the other side of things, the Jets O-line versus Micah Parsons and company, and that defense, yeah, that might be rough for them too. So, ultimately, I think it's going to be a defensive game. Give me the Cowboys to win like 20-16.
Oh, you're so boring. Tony Pollard's better. CeeDee Lamb's better. Dak Prescott's better.
Garrett Wilson over CeeDee Lamb.
Well, you're wrong, but good try. The Cowboys have a better defense.
Oh, that's a good debate, though.
No, it's not.
Garrett Wilson does more from the outside, and he's a little, they're very similar players. He's a little bit more complete, but they're very similar.
I think after the catch, they're very similar.
The Cowboys are way
They're similar except for the fact that Gilly does it outside.
Then Lamb's bigger, right?
I don't
Gotta
know.
be.
No, they're about the same size.
Lamb plays bigger.
Yeah.
Wilson plays big.
He
plays really big.
Yeah, hey, Jackson. He still got that. He had that catch up from Monday. He still has that in his dreams, bro. He still
Dude,
thinks about it.
Bro, I'm telling you, I've done that 40 times in backyard football. It's not that hard. I could have done that, bro.
If anyone,
bro, I did that to Jace when I was like 6. Like,
if anyone knows how much I love Justin Jefferson, when Jefferson made that Bills catch, second I saw it, I just last year I just could not believe that it actually happened. I thought that was actually.
He thought he was in a fever dream.
What does that have to do with this game?
Just let me talk about that.
You don't have to.
You're the guest on here, bro. That catch was just like
host.
So unbelievable. I watched it at least 100 times that night. Not joking.
So you see Wet dreamed about it too.
Yeah,
bro, Jude, chill. I watched it over and over. It was just such an unbelievable catch, and I couldn't even believe that.
Hey, pop it out. Pop it out.
Anyway, on to the next game.
He loved it so much he made a whole entire video about Jefferson. All right.
It was a YouTube Shorts. Anyway, Broncos, Commodores, the Commandos, Broncos, the footballs,
versus
the balls,
Redskins.
the football team. Anyway,
the balls,
the Sammy Baws, the slinging Sammy Baws.
What about their balls?
Nick, I'm telling you, you're the only 18-year-old on the planet who knows who Sammy Baugh is.
Hey, I know who Sammy Baugh is.
That just says I know football. We know football.
No, don't talk to me.
Anyway,
Nick, you think Justin Fields is good? You don't know anything about football.
That is true. If you're an optimistic Bears fan, you don't know anything about life.
Hey, scoreboard. Look up at the records. Scoreboard.
About what?
Scoreboard. Top corners. Anyway.
Surfboard.
The Broncos, I think they win this game. I just simply think that Sean Payton's going to outcoach the Commanders. I think these are two bad football teams, but I think they're both they're bad right now, but I think that they're going to trend up by the end of the year and finish around the 7-8 win range. But right now, I trust the Commanders the Broncos a little bit more because of the coach and quarterback. I like Sam Howell, but I think Wilson's better right now, and I think Payton is going to have a bounce back week versus the Commanders and win this game.
Who's better, Broncos or Bears?
The Bears.
Oh, God, it does suck.
Why?
Yeah, that's a good question. Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
Listen, we've talked about the Bears.
Jackson, that's tough, bro. They both suck.
They do. They do both suck. I said Russell Wilson or Justin Fields.
I think Russell Wilson's an average quarterback. Justin Fields is a good quarterback.
Why?
They're both bad.
Okay, let me restate that. I think they're both average right now, but I think Fields is going to be good by the end of the year.
It's not.
Who has the better coach? Who has the better coach?
The Broncos have a better coach than the Bears, but the Bears have way better receivers.
What? No, they don't. No, they don't. If Tim Patrick is there, no, they don't.
But Tim Patrick is not there.
I'm telling you, Judy and Sutton. Judy's better than DJ Moore in my opinion.
Judy is.
So Nick, you think the Bears are winning more games than the Broncos?
Did you watch our record predictions?
And we have better running backs.
I have the Bears winning more than
Jackson. How are you taking them up on that?
Yes, we do.
Khalil Herbert
is not better than Javonte.
Khalil Herbert and Javonte are about the same, and then you back up Samaje Perine. We have Javonte. We have Dante Foreman, who's like a Walmart Derrick Henry. Then we have Rashawn.
Perine was great for the Bengals, bro.
No, he wasn't. He was just.
Yes, he was. He was their good RB2.
He was just there for a long time. He wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
He was a bottom half RB2.
Foreman has had like 3 good games, bro.
Anyway, why are we debating the Bears and Broncos? We can debate this another time. We're doing picks. Anyway, Broncos.
Everyone knows the Broncos are going to win this game. Terry McLaurin is going to be totally like.
I think the Broncos are going to roll.
Curtis Samuel, if he doesn't play, it's over for them. Sam Howell is disappointing. The Commanders' defense isn't good enough to stop the Broncos' offense.
I think this is
Peyton's going to exploit this defense.
I think this is going to be a very close game, and I think the Broncos win on a game-winning kick.
No, I think the Broncos jump on them early, and they just kind of sit in the lead, and Howell's forced to throw.
I think Sean Payton goes for like 4th down out of something just absolutely outrageous, and he gets it, and we win.
I think it's time to move on to the next game.
Oh, all right, my fault.
Sunday Night Football.
I didn't want to be here that bad. Let's talk about baseball. Whatever.
Sunday Night Football. Patriots.
Dolphins.
This is going to be a very good game.
I disagree.
I think the Patriots are going to win it because I think that both rosters are so close. The Patriots are at home. And I think that they're going to have a good game plan for Tua. Oh, not Tua. Well, Tua too, but Tyreek Hill. Not that they're going to shut him down or anything, but I think Belichick, going back to the Kansas City Patriots matchups, he always knew how to have a safety help shadow Tyreek Hill to not let
basic football defense.
To not let him. Well, clearly the Chargers didn't. To not let him get open downfield.
There's no game plan to stop Tyreek Hill. There is no game plan.
There's a game plan to slow him down. The Patriots have the safeties to do it.
I don't think it's about Tyreek. I think it's about finding Tua's weaknesses. That's the only way you can beat the Dolphins.
No, it's about having that safety to not just let Tyreek Hill run past him.
The Chargers' defense stinks.
But
the Patriots' defense might.
And the Chargers' free safety situation is the worst in football right now with Nasir Adderley retiring.
I think the Patriots, like I said this on the offseason or in the preseason pod, I think they're going to have around a top 5 defense.
Yeah, they have top 5, 6 defense in my opinion, and I don't see Tyreek Hill having more than one big catch in this game. I just think that they're going to really not let him do a lot downfield to win this game. They're not losing that way, and I think that they're going to run the ball pretty well. And I think that without Jalen Ramsey, the cornerback room isn't amazing in Miami. So I think that they're going to ultimately play really well on defense and do enough on offense to win this game in a pretty tight Sunday Night Football game.
Mac Jones has to be incredible, and he doesn't have the options, even if he plays amazing, to outscore Tua on a good day.
Yeah, that's fair. I just don't really think he's going to need to. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think Tua kind of has a bit of a come to Jesus with Belichick. I think the Patriots win a low scoring game, although I wouldn't be shocked if the Dolphins roll because, oh, God, I love Mike McDaniel, man. He's such a good coach.
I love Mike, too. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I think the Patriots get it done.
Isn't Tua Hawaiian?
He is.
He's used to not feeling at home. Hawaii's never felt at home in America. He's ready to go to New England and crush them.
Oh, man. But Mac Jones is a really good quarterback.
Mac and Tua are neck and neck, in my opinion.
And Ramondre, I think Ramondre.
Tua's better than Mac, bro. And I'm not even.
I have Tua over Mac by a sniffy sniff.
Mac has never sniffed a game Tua just had.
Mac had a pretty good game against
470 yards.
Not a pretty good
Tua's not Mac has not sniffed that, bro.
Well, Mac also doesn't have Tyreek Hill.
I know.
I thought Tyreek Hill was so easy to handle.
I didn't say that. I just said Belichick seems to have very good game plans.
No, I think Tua's better, but I think Belichick.
What did Tua show is without Tyreek Hill that Mac hasn't shown?
I don't understand how you can favor the Patriots in this game. I'm trying to think about it. I don't see it at all.
Okay, maybe.
Dolphins have every tool they need to win this game. There's just Patriots can win this, obviously.
We'll throw a Patriots.
I think
Dolphins have to be more likely to win this.
I think the Patriots, I think they impressed me week 1, honestly, against the Eagles. They honestly should have won the game.
I think Hunter Henry is going to have a way worse game. Ramondre
did go off.
Exciting.
Ramondre didn't do anything. I think he's going to have a better game.
And I think he's going to keep it that way.
I was wrong.
Ramondre's a really good player.
Ramondre's a really good player.
Yeah.
I think he's overhyped.
Anyway, I was wrongfully excited for the Giants Cowboys. I am super excited for this Sunday night game though.
Oh, okay. So Dolphins roll.
On to Monday Night Football. Bum 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 bum.
There goes all our money, Nick.
Saints, Panthers.
Dang it.
Two quarterbacks I love: Bryce Young, Derek Carr. Bryce Young's first career primetime game. Derek Carr, if you've noticed, some of his best career games have been on Monday Night Football. Primetime Derek is a thing. He shows up to play in primetime moments. And don't do what you're doing right now, Jude, because you know it. You can
Who cares, bro?
Look at his Monday night, Sunday night.
It's not
games.
about. Don't act like this is about the Saints being so good. This is about the Panthers sucking. The
Yes.
Panthers suck.
Okay, listen.
That's all it's about.
The Saints aren't like an elite team, but
The Saints should be 0-1.
Listen,
If Tannehill wasn't the worst quarterback in
We're doing
football
picks.
last
I don't
weekend,
wanna
they would
hear
have
about the
lost.
future of the Saints. I don't want to hear about the future of the Saints.
Okay.
This game
We'll
is not
talk
going to
about
come
picks.
down to Derek Carr being a great player in primetime, having to override.
I think it's
Why?
an ugly game.
Why?
Because the Panthers just suck. That's all it comes down to.
I think it's an ugly game. Ugly, low scoring.
okay.
I think
Anyway,
it's Saints like 23-16. I think it's ugly.
I agree with a score similar to that, but that's because the Panthers are pretty good on defense. But now J.C. Horn, I think he's out.
If the Saints
JC
are
Horn's
as good
out.
as if the Saints are as good as you think they are, they should absolutely stomp the Panthers.
Yeah.
They will
I
barely keep
have
their
them
head
winning
afloat.
9 games.
They
I
were-
never said they were an elite team.
If you think Derek Carr is as good as he is, he should exploit this.
Yeah, why? If Derek Carr's a top 10 quarterback, the Saints will win like 11 and 12 games, bro. In this division, yes.
They have a very subpar line, in my opinion, a very subpar D line, and very subpar coaching. That's why I think
The coaching, I'll give you, but the other stuff, the top 10 quarterback should be able to overcome. If Lamar Jackson was on the Saints, they would be 11 or 12 wins.
then why have the Ravens won 8 or 9 games last 8 or 9?
He was hurt.
He was hurt, but even with him healthy, they have not won like that crazy amount.
He has
of
won
games.
75% of his
MVP.
games. Lamar has won 75% of his games, Nick, that he started.
You're just imagining him playing like he was at like Louisville, right?
When have they ever won like 8 games when he started the whole season?
Well, he needs to start the whole season then.
You're right. Lamar's worse than Justin Fields because he didn't start the whole season. That's a bigger flaw than everything Justin Fields.
Anyway,
The fact
but
that he didn't
Derek
start the
Carr-
whole season.
Derek Carr, I think, is going to have a very good game. And I think the Saints, I'll say they win this game 27-16.
I think it's a one possession game.
Yeah,
I
me
feel
too.
Saints barely keep their head.
I think it comes down to Young making a big mistake late.
It's going to come down to like that older sibling pushing away your younger sibling. It's going to be that the Saints are just going to stay ahead the whole time. Just keep their head afloat.
I think it comes down to what quarterback makes the bigger plays in crucial situational moments.
No.
And I think,
It's not that deep.
listen, and I think like last week, who made the big plays in situational moments? Love or Fields? Jordan Love did. That's why the Packers won by as much as they
No,
did.
that's not. There's much more to it.
They rolled them.
Yeah, it was not even a close game, bro.
No, but by
Jordan Love could have made none of those passes, and y'all wouldn't have been able to score on them.
we scored 22. What's your point?
When they
14
Wait,
and
they scored 20.
bro, you scored
My bad.
8 in garbage time when no one cared.
No, we scored 6 in garbage time. But anyway,
No, you scored more than 6 in garbage time because y'all hit that 2 point.
It was 14,
Oh, we missed it.
bro.
We missed it.
Do you know how to do
Well,
math?
it was not.
The 2 point.
The
That
2
in
point was to
garbage
make
time.
it a 10-point game in the
It
third
was in
quarter.
garbage time.
10-point game in the third quarter is not garbage
Packers
time.
already had it. Packers had that in the bag.
Anyway, back to this game. Now I forgot what I was
I watched
talking
that.
about.
You're talking about how Derek Carr is going to have a good game. And he's going to make
Okay.
big plays.
But anyway,
It's the Panthers.
situationally, I think by situational I meant Jordan Love on third down was really good. So I think Carr is going to make just big plays in big situations that Young quite won't make as a rookie in his first primetime game. And I think Carr doing that is going to be enough for the Saints to win by 11 points and cover the spread and go win in Carolina. So I'm excited for these two teams, futures and the quarterbacks.
God, this
Who
is
is
Steelers-
excited for this?
Who is excited about these teams?
I'm
bro?
upset. I'm upset I have to work for the first half of this game. I'm going to be at work during the first half of this game. I'm going to have to record it and rewatch the first half because I'm really excited for this
Should we talk
game.
about what you do at your job on our football podcast?
Anyway, you guys talk about why the Saints will win. Well, Jackson already
It's
talked.
actually a stripper.
You, Jude,
Well, what?
talk about this game real quick.
I think the Saints offense doesn't really need to do anything. I think the defense will hold the Panthers. I don't think the Panthers have anything on offense. They don't have anything to threaten the defense vertically. and I think it comes down to a big play late, like a 3rd and 12 or 4th and 12 or 4th and 10, and Young just doesn't make the play and they lose by a score.
Comes down to Olave and Carr are just better, unless Bryce Young just becomes what he will in like 3 years. Bryce Young has to go out of his mind to win that game.
Monday Night Football doubleheader. Another quarterback I really like, Kenny Pickett, who didn't prove much in all week 1, but again, the O-line was putrid. Now
He
you're
was
looking.
also graded horrible.
Now you're looking. They're going against the Browns, so there's a chance that the O-line also struggles, which is very possible. Which is why I think this is going to be like a 16-13 Steelers win. I think it comes down to T.J. Watt's going to have a monster game against the Browns' backup right tackle with Jack Conklin out for the year. So I think Watt is going to really kind of just take over this game, and I think Kenny Clutch is going to make a clutch drive at the end of the game, and that's why this game.
Kenny who?
Kenny Clutch. He's been clutch.
Who calls him that? What was he clutching, Pee Wee?
No, he was clutching the NFL last year with all those primetime comeback drives.
I know, against like the Ravens without Lamar, and then the Raiders with
Is it
Derek
still a good
Carr.
defense? Are the Ravens still a good defense without Lamar? That he drove down the field on Sunday Night Football.
I know, and he played so well last week. Wow.
He had a bad week, yes, but that doesn't mean
that was worse than a bad week. That was very concerning.
It was almost as bad
it was
as
concerning.
Fields, but
That was worse than even I thought he was, and I don't think he's good.
It was concerning, but it's 1 week. I'm not gonna. Again,
It's almost like you
4 weeks.
shouldn't overreact to preseason football, Nick.
I wasn't. I already had him ranked high before the preseason. I just said that I think they're going to continue how they looked in the preseason, but I was already high on him.
Preseason football means nothing.
Agreed. Preseason
week
football
1 means
nothing.
sometimes as much as preseason football, and you should start making some assumptions over week 1.
No, give me 4 weeks.
Okay, well, it comes down to Deshaun Watson knows how to massage a football to Amari Cooper, and can't do that. Pickett doesn't know how to massage the ball.
Jackson, you're going to get our
Deshaun
stream
Watson does.
taken down.
Oh, you're right. That was way too far with me. Some charges.
I know.
I cost a lot. I'm sorry.
Nick, you already lost us our money whenever you sang the Monday night song
Ukulele
earlier.
anywhere in here?
What?
Is there ukulele anywhere in here? I can start making my apology video.
Anyway,
You lost us our money by singing the goddamn Monday night video. Stop yelling at Jackson, okay?
I invested so much money in this podcast.
I think the Browns win ugly. Classic AFC North game. I think similar to the other Monday night game, comes down to a big play late. Pickett doesn't come through.
wow.
I think the Browns roll the Steelers on this one.
Why is that such a hot take, Nick?
No, I didn't say it was a hot take. I said,
You said,
wow.
wow.
Wow, because you
You
predicted
just had nothing else to say.
you just predicted a quarterback to make a big mistake at the end of the game. That's like, wow. That's how the game's going to go, according to Jude.
That's how most games come down, Nick. You didn't
Okay.
know.
Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to our picks. Fun episode. We'll see you next time. I think it's going to be Friday for college football talk, but we'll see if that happens or not. If not, you'll see us next week. But anyway, have a good one. Thank you guys for tuning in.